What is going on, everybody? We are back with another review, and this time we are going to review Alfred Hitchcock Presents Season 1, Episode 13, and this episode was called The Cheney Vase. It was directed by Robert Stevens, written by Robert Blees, starred Patricia Collinge as Martha Cheney, Darren McGavin as Lyle Endicott. And this episode premiered on Christmas, December 25th, 1955. So this has Lyle Endicott, who's played by Darren McGavin, talking with his boss as he gets fired. He goes out, talks with his girlfriend who got him the job, who is one of the receptionists out in the museum, because it was a museum that he worked at. When all of a sudden, a lady comes up named Miss Cheney, and he says hi to her and is really kind and generous to her and gives her a little flower to pin on her shirt and everything. And that's when his ex-boss walks in. And here we go with this crap. I do apologize. And so the ex-boss is basically like, hey, are you taking care of that thing that I told you to take care of? And he's like, yeah. And he walks off. He goes into the room that his girlfriend is sitting in, and before he closes the door, he overhears a conversation between the guy, his ex-boss, and Miss Cheney, and he talks about trying to purchase the Cheney vase before he goes on vacation. And she's like, it's not for sale, I'm keeping it. And then she also tells him that her personal driver and personal caretaker is going to be out of town for a couple months. So he immediately goes inside, asks his girlfriend to basically print him up a letter of recommendation, and he takes it to Miss Cheney and offers to become her personal assistant. Through some schmoozing, she finally says yes, and he then starts to work at her place. He does so in a way where he never lets her leave the house. It slowly starts to drive her crazy. And he starts to ask about the Cheney vase, and she's like, all of you guys are the same. Everybody just wants the vase. It's not going anywhere. So he's constantly taking her up to her room where she does her sculpting and whatnot, and leaves her up there for all manners of the day. During all of this, he eventually gets the lady that's also the cook fired, so that it's only him that's there. And then later, he hires a new maid. She comes in, and she's basically working with him. Not in a she's trying to help find the vase way, but in a she goes to him with everything kind of way. And I bring this up because she eventually takes tea up to Miss Cheney, and Miss Cheney gives her a letter to give to her attorney. So eventually he shows up later to talk to her and pulls out the letter that she gave the maid, and he rips it up, and he's like, that's a fantastical story, Miss Cheney. So anyways, he then has his girlfriend set up somebody to come pick up the vase, because he's pretty sure he's going to find it. And he does run across it sitting in a glass case on a shelf up where she's doing her sculpting. So he sets up his own person to pick it up, basically breaks up with his girlfriend. He tries to lie to her about some shit. She calls him on his bullshit. He gets pissed off, smacks her, and says, don't you bother calling the cops. You writing the letter implicates you just as much as it does me. So then the boss from the museum asks if she could come in and work tomorrow. She says yes, and then he's like, please go to Miss Cheney's immediately. She's in trouble. And he grabs the phone from her. Lyle does. Grabs the phone from her, slams it down on the hook, and goes back to steal the vase. So once he gets there, he has this really cool, creepy rise into place, into the elevator, comes out of the elevator, walks in the room to take the Cheney vase, and Miss Cheney has made like 15 other vases, that look just like the original Cheney vase. She's like, yeah, I don't know which one's the real one. Good luck. And he goes to smack her, and she's like, I wouldn't bother trying to beat it out of me. I don't remember which one it is. I'm just a crazy old lady. A crazy, forgetful old lady. And that's how the episode ends. So, why am I always so tired during these? Anyways, it was an okay episode. It was, like I said, better than the last 2 episodes. It had a really abrupt ending. I wish there was more of a solid ending. It kind of gave you that twist. Oh, I made a bunch of the same thing, but, you're not going to know which one's the real one. And then it just kind of ends. And it's like, does he get arrested? How does all this play out? Does he just take all of them and try to sell them? So, I don't know. I just wish there was more of an ending. Again, though, way better than the Christmas episode. What was the episode before the Christmas episode? The stupid ass Santa episode. I fucking hated that one. Guilty Witness. Oh yeah, that was the one with the apartment people that almost that they thought the lady killed her husband. That was an okay one, but again, it just kind of had a wonky ending, and I'm feeling like are we starting to slip into the Twilight Zone era of just wonky endings? Who knows? But yeah, so that's gonna do it for this review. I just think it's okay. It's probably gonna end up in the bottom half of episodes we've seen so far. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, we're still pretty early on in the season. We're not even halfway through yet, so I'm not even that tired. It could get worse. It could get better. We can only hope for the best, right? So anyways, love you guys. We'll see you next time.